fucked it up.
Shut up! I'm right there.
No, it's off.
No, it's not. Look at the numbers.
It's off, girl.
Girl, look at the numbers. We're in 9, 10
Okay,
seconds.
Fine. But you're sitting there. And you make fun of me. Oh, wait, my microphone's off. Hold on. Sorry.
Not that she needs a
couldn't
mic.
tell.
Trust you me, y'all. She does not need a mic.
I'm back in the lavatory.
I am still in this strapless bra. So,
just going to have it stuck right here. I don't care what it looks like right now.
hey, we're so glad y'all are here.
Oh, hello.
I appreciate it because you probably have much better things to do.
Like what? I have anything better to do. Like what?
What the hell would you have better to do than to tune in to two
bodacious
29-year-old
talking about
women?
You need to hear what? I don't
know.
know.
I'm kind of having a Taylor Swift moment.
Which is what?
Because every time I have a bad date, we talk about it.
Oh. Let's talk about her bad
If I were writing music, I may be a Taylor Swift at this time.
Okay, let's be a Taylor Swift moment. Go.
No.
Just making
Go.
sure my
okay?
core. Hey, just don't you worry about me. You talk. I'll listen, you talk. I'm good at listening, you're good at talking, apparently.
I know. You see, if you haven't figured out what really happens on Shock Talking is we
People are saying,
we just do some personal therapy
do
here.
you ever get a word in edgewise? Gretchen's just, this mouthy little thing.
No.
Trust me.
Even on the podcast that I go, this one's all you, Camille. You watch
like,
the beginning, I'm like,
yeah.
I know.
It's all good.
But I do love the ones that you interject your therapy shit in there. I really do.
I appreciate that because we do therapy on Gretchen in this Shock Talking episode. Here we go again.
Here's the deal. I know that there are men and women out there that can relate. So if
Sorry,
you want to call me that, you want to call me your poster child of all kinds of issues?
The catfish
going on in my life.
The little therapy. She needs catfish therapy. She needs dick pic therapy. She needs
Can we just talk about dick pics for a sec?
You got
New
new
one
ones.
I have.
Man.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it's
You
a
know, that
phenomenon.
is not an icebreaker for a date. Just so you guys know.
Such a phenomenon.
We go to dinner the other night.
We never had this shit in our 20s.
Ever met this person. He's talking about, I don't know, he's talking about something and he's on his phone like this and all of a sudden he hands me his phone.
Oh, yeah.
It's this naked picture of him and I go, Camille. And Camille goes like this.
Oh, yeah.
She blows it up.
Yeah.
You did.
I didn't. I'm trying to delete that shit.
And finally, I just looked at him and I go, what are we supposed to do with this?
What was I supposed to? Are you trying to?
He was not at any moment talking about his 9-inch dick, which he probably said 7 times during that dinner conversation.
It's a self-promotion.
Here's a little something
Lord.
for you men out there that are watching. Women don't want a 9-inch dick. Except for Camille has a long cavity, so maybe that'll fit.
Oh my God. Excuse me. Yeah.
You've already talked about it before.
Well, yeah, but then I need to scroll back through all the videos to hear me talk about my LV. So.
That stands for long vagina.
Okay, get on with your shit here. Let's get on with you.
So,
how does this turn on me?
Well, because you and I have a great idea. We, with all the
Our coffee table book.
Well, not just that. We want to expand it. That may be a door. I think maybe a door prize.
Well, maybe there. Yeah, I think we ought to do a pageant.
See what I'm saying?
I think we need to
stay with us on this because Camille has got some ideas going on. Go ahead.
I think. You started bringing this up. No, I think we need to do a pageant. We could crown the winning dick pic.
Crown the little dick. Just like we had, just like a little party favor. Just goes right down on top of that head.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a little decorative pictures. I mean, it's like do more than just the bathroom
scene. So you're like wanting it in a tux or something?
Well, maybe, or Kate.
We will have a swimsuit edition. Now, next is the evening attire.
Oh my gosh.
We will now do special tricks.
Maybe we should do
talent portion.
She's the beauty queen, man. You could pull this off, girl.
And she is the dick queen.
So, the dick
See how
pic.
we merged this
dick
together?
pic
But
queen.
you know what? I think you're onto something, Camille. There has
think so.
never been a
We've never
Mr.
crowned
Dick pageant. There's
We've
never.
yeah, I don't know if
been.
anybody crowned Mr. Dick Pic. That's all fun. That's all new.
What would you? What would be a winning dick to you?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I've ever even thought about
And don't say you've got to do research.
I'm gonna have to review my catalog. Then I
She's
can
like-
let you know.
Y'all, it is a phenomenon. It is.
It is funny.
It is a phenomenon. And we're not talking like, you don't get like grandpa dick pics. You get hot pilots and stuff.
Well, my
And can we just expand, y'all?
we
She
not
doesn't get
talk about
pics.
it?
She gets videos in the shower.
oh, hey, can we let's talk about what you're getting.
I know, but y'all, here's the deal with me. I get scared.
She's like,
I get scared, I delete, and I go, I need to show Camille.
she
Maybe you know this person.
She panics.
know.
Oh yeah. Have you got one from this guy?
Here's the deal
Yeah.
on our dick pageant. We don't want to see your face.
No.
So even if you copy and paste some dick that's not yours, we won't know.
Oh.
We're merely
they're
going
gonna cheat.
off the picture.
Now they're just gonna cheat.
Every one of yours is a cheat.
You think?
Yes.
Oh, well, I don't know the videos. Are
Camille's like, that hurts my feelings.
Well, I can't
No,
believe they
you're
would be
right.
deceitful with me. I can't believe I'd be catfished like that.
She's been dick fished.
I've been dickfished like that.
You know, but
Wouldn't that be hilarious? I'm sure there's a lot of women out there that have got this. It's like, what are we doing here? Right?
When
I never
you-
had this stuff growing up. Just saying. It wasn't going on in high school, as far as I know.
Well, we didn't have
We didn't have
phones to
social
sell.
media.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean to show pics. Yeah,
No.
we didn't.
That's true.
You know, and I wonder if women share those. Like if a girl or a woman sent a booby pic or something like that, and a guy could send it to all his guy friends. Do you
sure.
think girls do that?
Absolutely.
I know we do it and laugh. But
Absolutely. I think so.
I'll send Camille and I'm like, look at what I just got. That's disgusting. Camille's like, it's not bad.
Honey, it says something about how he feels about you.
No, it doesn't.
He might feel it in his pants, but he does say what he feels about you. I just think to me it's hilarious.
You know, the first thing I notice is like, God, would you do some scaping down there?
Yeah, there's a lot of, yeah.
Which tells me they're not from America.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of a known fact that
Well,
women
don't they have
like
like
it clean.
Don't they have like don't you have a beard site? Wonder if they have a.
Okay, there is going to be a rule of our criteria. If you've got a beard going on down there, you will not even win Mr. Congeniality. You just won't. You
We
won't.
aren't even let you be a concierge.
Okay, so if you're interested, you can get a hold of Camille personally and
yeah, no, you
submit your
won't.
pictures, because it just doesn't do it for me. Okay, I like a nice upper body, but I
Scares
don't
the shit out of
need.
Gretchen.
I don't need to see that. I don't know what to do with it. It makes me nervous.
Yeah.
So I wanted to pick your brain about some relationship issues.
Oh. Is the man sending dick pictures? That's a problem.
You know what? Well, here's what I do think is sexy. Like if you're, you kind of have a relationship with a guy and he's laying in bed and he's got like say his, briefs or underwear on and you can see an outline. That's sexy to me, but I don't need to see
In your face.
the whole skin and skaboodle.
What do they call that the full Monty? You don't want the full Monty. Isn't that what it's called?
know,
Isn't that
but
the full
that-
Monty? Yeah, I think it is.
Like now I'll never eat another Monte Cristo.
Oh, what is that? Candy bar?
It's a sandwich.
Oh, is it a sandwich?
Yeah, it's a French sandwich. So like I eat it anyway. It's all fried and stuff.
Never had it.
Okay, so
But yeah, I get it. You want a little bit of you want to imagine. You want to have a little something left of the imagination.
right.
I think a lot of people do, by the way. I think a lot.
I
and-
would think guys would too.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why Playboy has kind of stuck around because it's not full nudity.
Yes, it is.
Well, but it's not like Hustler. Is it? Oh, I guess I haven't seen it lately.
I'm
been a
surprised
while.
that those places are even in business because who needs to buy magazines when everything's online,
Right? I guess that's true.
right?
Well, I do think a lot of men would like a little bit of something to, imagine. Not have it so fully
so there, right?
right. That's a little
Because
bit.
I would think that, I mean, guys, you also need to know too. If you right off the bat start talking about that to
We
a
know
woman
exactly
that
what
you don't
you're
know,
looking for.
yeah, that's like a red
It
flag.
ain't therapy.
Like, okay, well, I have junk like everybody else does, so I don't know why I'm any more special than somebody else.
Right.
So I recently had a relationship, sort of, and you've been coaching me all along. It hasn't been that long. It's been
3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a great communicative relationship for about 4 months, right?
I think so too.
We did. We really, I mean, and it was like a pen pal of sorts.
Yes.
But we also FaceTime, so I knew that I was not being catfished, and I knew that this person actually fit with
Yes.
the profile.
And 1 second, rule number 1, when you are in a long distance connection relationship, you video FaceTime, you make sure you are talking to who you really are talking to.
Yeah.
So videos are going to be hard to fake. Go ahead.
Right, and especially when you FaceTime, you got
know who
you
you're
there and you got him there,
Right.
So you know that it's legit.
Right.
And the conversations. See, this is where I feel like I'm Taylor Swift because I'm calling some people out.
Yeah.
So the conversations prior to us meeting were very open and very mature and very things like. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I don't have to play this game anymore. And I'm so tired of being around women that they just don't know what they want. And,
It was real.
it felt really reassuring. It just felt like,
Felt real.
oh my gosh, okay, somebody that's on the same maturity path, that's not looking for,
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
all of that kind of stuff. And would say things like, you and I both, we can go out and have that. Frankly, anybody can.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
But and meeting you, and this is what it's going to be like, and it was just huge build up.
Yes, anticipation was great.
Huge build up.
Yeah.
Not so much what he looked like, because I knew what he looked like, but it was like this
The
is going to
intimacy,
be
the connection, the
an
communication.
amazing. Like my heart is finally going to meet this person that I've been so excited to talk to and meet. Right. I just come back from China, and now I've got this to look forward to. You and I are talking every day. I remember I bleached my ass. Remember all that stuff? I'm getting ready.
She did.
Anyway,
I don't know how many shades, but she did.
look at my skin color.
She
y'all.
got me some of that cream too. I've been working my ass. Anyway, God.
I ain't doing it anymore, by the way.
Oh.
I figure, what?
Don't get off that wagon.
I got dark skin to begin
We're
with.
gonna have to get.
All part of
We're
it.
gonna have to start over now.
Well, I did think it would be kind of weird to have dark skin and then like one white glowing area, right?
That's great.
It would just be kind of obvious.
That's a little bit weird, yeah.
It's like, when you go in a tanning bed and that tailbone area is just white.
I wonder if Michael Jackson bleached himself though. He was pretty white. Oh, he totally bleached
Well, I
his
know
skin.
he bleached him, but
Anyway.
did he bleach his ass?
Well, I kind of think it's got a match, so probably
Got a match.
he's got a match. I mean, he's okay. Continue on.
All right.
Even after you bleach your anus, go ahead.
Yeah, bleach my anus. So anyway, long story short, the weekend happened.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't. He wasn't the same that he was in
On
the
the
communication. Yeah, it just wasn't the same. And we are not dumb as women. We pick up on things really fast like that. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna have. I don't want to work
Right.
to get someone's attention.
Right.
Like that. That's kind of grade school, right?
Yeah.
Especially at my age.
Yeah, and wasn't he on the phone a lot and stuff like that? Wasn't he kind of preoccupied a little bit?
Yeah, he was on the phone with his ex-wife a lot, talking about his son's hockey game. You know what I'm thinking? A, ex-wife, he's meeting me. Didn't appreciate that.
By design.
And B, it's an 8-year-old hockey game. Could that maybe wait?
Right.
I'm a mom. I get it. You got things you want to find out what's happening with your kids. I get it.
But
You and I were on the phone. And you're like, "How you doing?" Fine.
I knew.
Fine.
I'm like, oh,
No,
we
but
will
that-
be
I mean,
talking
that-
when you get home, honey.
That texting went on for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I only had 2.5 days. Yeah.
Okay, so you're sitting there where he's on the flipping phone,
Watching Naked and Afraid, y'all.
and you had time to watch TV. You got time to watch TV. Your first encounter with somebody you've been messaging like that.
Now
As
that
if
we're
says
like we're
a lot to
soulmates,
me.
and
Wow.
there was just all kinds of stuff that.
And we thought this was
that
the
I
one.
did. Or at least
Well, you
moving
were
in a
looking-
direction that I could spend an investment amount of my
That's
time.
what it was.
Right?
You thought this was maybe worth checking it out.
Yeah. And even to the point, and I do have a point to share in all this, Taylor Swift. Even when we would go out and walk around town and stuff, he wasn't eager to hold my hand. And I remember thinking, if this is the first weekend we've ever met, what would this be like? 6 months, a year, 5 years?
Because it felt like you were already there 10 years.
Yeah, it was very complacency. Did that word come out
That's right. It was complacent. Yeah.
So anyway, get back home, and the conversations are from him, very short word. And I asked him several times, like, what's up? What's up? Nothing. Why are you being like this? Nothing. Okay. And in my head, I'm like, I'm remembering this back from my 20s.
Yeah. You can. We know.
Well, I'm old as dirt, so this is weird. So I backed off.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it was, wait a minute, you're kind of going away. Wait, I don't want you to go away. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm kind of disconnected because you shut down and didn't put forth the effort. Long story short,
Well, it didn't match. It wasn't a good.
no, it was very compatible
Yeah,
texting. So
right.
my warning is, people can come up with all kinds of words, but that doesn't mean they can express that.
That's right. And in real life, is it going to be really there? Is the connection really going to stay? Yeah.
So to get your opinion on this, to wrap it all up, some weeks go by, and all of a sudden he has this epiphany that he realizes, and this is his explanation. I've never been shown that kind of respect and love like you showed me that weekend, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I pulled back.
Okay. Well, that's the excuse, but
But in my mind, Camille, I'm like, I'm 53 years old. I'm
He's
not
50-something,
going to
too.
wait around for somebody to mature enough to go like, okay, it's actually safe to show some affection and to reciprocate and to also allow it to come in.
right. Well, there's something that got confronted in the initial meeting. Okay, something went on there. So that's and okay, he's 50 whatever. This is all new to him.
He's 46.
Yeah,
But he's
okay,
had
so-
2 marriages and a handful of relationships.
Well,
whatever.
there's a reason maybe he has 2 marriages. Okay, I mean that there's something that he's having a hard time going from the language to the action.
And the whole point of this podcast is not diss on this guy, but it's actually to
No.
learn,
No.
like,
But I think he was
people at
struggling.
stages.
Yeah, he's struggling with really being transparent and in front of you.
Right.
Do I think he actually felt those feelings? I do. I don't think this guy was catfishing you. He wasn't playing
Right.
you. I think he genuinely wants a real love connection.
Mm-hmm.
He said all the right things, which got you willing to meet him face
Right.
to face.
Because I've never done that.
Right. I know.
I've never done that.
But there was a disconnect when you guys got together. And I hear that he says, I've just never had this. I don't know what I'm doing. I think there's a little bit more to the story than that. I'm not sure. My theory on it is he's got a constant, distraction with the ex-wife and that kid. And look, I don't think she wants to lose him, frankly. But they're not married anymore, but my opinion, for lack of it, I don't know this couple, I have no idea. But if she's going to continually, insert herself, or at kid issue, there was a little bit of fight going on with the kid or something like that. That to me is a little bit of drama to keep him hooked into her and not you.
So what's the advice that you give when couples, or maybe they're on the outs, or maybe somebody has just gone through something, to help them not get sucked back into the same old, because this pattern to me shows that he's never
Not ever
grown
disconnected.
from
Yeah.
it.
Well, I don't think he sees it as a distraction either. I think he's genuinely thinking that this is just someone who needs his time right there. Now, let's just say that's true. They need his time. Then he needs to go there. He needs to go be with his ex and the kid and stuff, and just kind of spend time with that. That's where he's invested.
Oh.
He didn't invest in you during the weekend. That was apparent. That's where the disconnect was. And you're sitting there looking at him going, God, another episode's going to be on.
Seriously, I've
got
never
2
watched.
episodes.
I've never watched Naked and Afraid, but
You
I bet I watched 12 of them.
binge
that
watch
weekend,
and
too.
Naked and Afraid. So there's definitely something that he's not investing in the moment. He has a hard time investing in you. So that spoke volumes, and that just, to me, actions speak louder than the words. And that's where you are correct to say, you keep your investment going on over there, and good luck. And no hard feelings.
Okay, so when you are counseling couples or you're
Yep.
counseling individuals and they've got a disconnect, or and especially later on in life, to me it's like, man, you're in a habit, you're in a place where you don't see
Yeah.
where your growth needs to happen.
Yeah.
Or where you can, maybe you've been so wounded you won't allow somebody to love you, or you won't allow, a
real
a
connection.
healthy connection, right? How do you help people get out of that so that they can actually, because we know people go from relationship to relationship,
They do.
divorce, divorce, divorce. There's a pattern.
Yep. Well, but to me, it's pain relief. It's like a Band-Aid. It's like they're going to stay in their relationship so they're not alone. They don't have to go through that kind of loss or whatever. But you have to stop and really look at yourself and say, I'm taking myself with me to every connection I've got. What am I really creating here? And what's the outcome, the true outcome? And,
Yeah.
and how are you causing that? You got to do a little introspection to kind of see where you're stuck. And if you have Groundhog Day over and over and over with the same kind of ending, of same kind of relationship, it's you. It's you. It's not someone else. It's you.
Yeah.
You're not the victim of somebody. It's you. You're taking your stuff with you.
Yeah.
But you stop and you have to have people look at that and say, based on results, who are you being? Based on your results, what are you creating? And based on, like, if I'm talking to him, I'm saying, based on your result here, what did you create with your ex-wife in those discussions and with your new relationship? Well, how did that pan out? The results say it all. What's he invested in?
Right.
Period.
Right.
People spend time on things that they really care about. They spend time on what they want to invest in. That's it.
And I also think that people, also men and women, they go into something with a motive.
Oh yeah. But the agenda may be, I really do want this.
Slut you up, right? I mean, that guy
that's
could
funny
have
to
cared
me.
less about developing a relationship.
He's going to take you to Vegas, show you off, slut you up, and walk you around like, I'm
Make me
tapping
wear
that.
He was like, I'm gonna make you wear
Pig.
wife beaters in public and slut you up. And I'm like, well,
Okay.
first of all, you ain't gonna make me do nothing.
No. Oh, but just the whole, just look at where he comes from. You're like this doll. I'm going to doll you up. I'm going to slit you up. You're my little dolly walking around with me, and I'm going to have other guys knowing that I'm tapping that. And that is his mentality.
Yeah.
How old is this kid? I mean, for real, right?
48.
That's not how you
right?
treat a woman. That's not how you treat a relationship. You can't objectify people and expect them to go, oh, great, I want to do that. Some people do that for a minute because they want the attention. But then when it comes down to relationship, you can't do that with relationships.
How many women tolerate that for the sake of being noticed?
Oh, probably a handful. A good-looking guy can get a good-looking girl to be the dolly for a minute, but again, it's not real. No one's airhead stupid forever. They're just not.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I think that's, look at Marilyn Monroe, look at Farrah Fawcett, you look at all these other sex symbols. Okay, I think they're sex symbols, and they were real people.
Yeah,
But
they played the part.
they played the dummy part, the dumb blonde
played the
part,
part.
to get
And-
laid,
and you think
Or
about-
to look like they were so.
Well, I don't think to get laid, because if you
No,
think
no,
about,
I'm not saying that. For them to entice that desire, that's what it is. It's like they're playing the part.
you
that's
think
what they were
about
paid
the
to
era
do.
of Rita Hayworth and
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe and all of that, and America was really
Beauty.
seeking for. I mean, they just came off the war, and they were seeking for something that was not
Distraction.
normal in their lives, right?
Yeah.
So Hollywood was bigger and glamorous than anything any normal
Yeah.
person ever experienced.
Yeah.
So then when you have a Marilyn Monroe that comes in and becomes this part, becomes this person on screen and off.
Yeah.
She was the escape for a lot of people.
She was.
Men and women, right?
But the 3 marriages she had, okay, I think there was 3 or I know there was 2. Look, they were marrying what they thought was Marilyn Monroe. They didn't know her.
yeah.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
girl was a train wreck. She had a horrible childhood, right?
Right.
But nobody wanted to deal with that piece of her.
Right.
Which is horrible. I mean, Elton John's song for her, Candle in the Wind, it's exactly what she was.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot more to her. She wanted to be taken more seriously, which eventually people want to have happen. That's why when I was growing up, I had these big boobs. I wanted to have a face and a brain. I want to be known for being smart. I want to wear glasses and have gray hair. Then I'd have credibility, right?
Right.
I figured that out. But I think a lot of people, they want to be known for more than just their body. I want to be more than just a body.
How many women do you counsel that reach a certain age and they said, they basically go like, I don't look like I did when I was whatever age.
20.
And either I'm going to settle for a man who will slut me up, because that at least gives me some self-esteem, that maybe I'm still
I'm desirable. Yeah.
Or you get the ones that maybe they're just like, it's not worth fighting, and we really don't care about each other. We don't see that part of each other. We don't.
Yeah.
And that doesn't have to be single people, because I think married people for a long time, they get to a point they're at a
Complacent.
still.
There's a boredom, there's a complacency, sure. But look, it's about the 10-year mark with a couple that really, when love really gets blooming, by the way. Okay, it takes about 10 years.
With or without kids?
Both. I mean, I think it's just 10-year, in a relationship about 10 years, you really know each other. And then it doesn't have to be pretentious. You know, it doesn't have to be that they look a certain way or act a certain way or, open the door or she's wearing, a strapless bra. What? It doesn't have to be that. You know each other and you love each other as they are. So I'm not saying it can't happen before that, but that seems to be the marker of where people actually get divorced or they stay together because they're actually re-loving each other now.
But what about
love is a verb. It isn't.
Yeah.
It is a deep, abiding feeling of respect and attraction, but it's also a verb. It's an action. It's also about being your word. You give your word, you are your word. Even if she has health issues, even if he lost his job and doesn't have money, even if he has health issues, like you love each other, not because you look perfect, not because you're sexy, not because you have money. You love each other. That's what your word's about when you say I do.
Okay, but how many men love their wives and still cheat on them?
And fuck around, yeah. I would say that the statistics are half. Okay, but is that love? Women typically don't want to have sex unless they're in love. They have to have a feeling that's driving that sexual attraction, by the way, for another guy.
Right.
So, and it isn't typical for women to cheat necessarily. For men, good sex to a guy is variety. Okay, do I like that? No, but that's kind of how it goes. But for a man that's going to cheat, there's something he's acting out, getting away with, because he can't be that guy with her. Okay, so. To me, there's something going on with him. There's something wrong there, right?
Do you also see, because I can only imagine, like, say a man that, and you see this all the time, a successful older man, successful
with
meaning
lovers.
business, has, his pick of younger women with, younger bodies, that basically he's like, I'm being used, but I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
And she goes, I'm being used, but I don't care.
'Cause I'm getting my money out of it. Yeah.
Right. And all it is sex.
Or looking like sex, because I'm not sure older guys can function. So it maybe they look like they're having sex. That's what it is. To me, it's all a show. Okay, they might be getting it on in the back room, but again, how often is that going to happen? How long it's going to happen? How many years?
Because I hear, and gosh, you're the therapist, and maybe they don't know what love is, but I hear people say, "Oh, I'd never leave my wife or my husband because I love them."
Yeah, they do love them, and just because you have sex doesn't mean you're not in love.
I don't get that.
I know, because you're a female. Women, and it's kind of scary as a female because men can screw around and not have feelings for that person. It's ridiculous.
But what
but
about
that's
the feelings with, maybe they don't have feelings with the partner they were just with, but do they not have remorse for hiding it to the person they love?
Probably. But a lot of times there's spices gone in the bedroom. Okay?
I get it.
So, and she's not as interested as she used to be when she was younger, or it hurts, or she has something going on. He's starving sexually, okay? So and I'm not justifying it. I'm just telling you this is a scenario typically. So he wants something on the side that doesn't require commitment, doesn't require money, doesn't make him, there's no pregnancy. It's just something and it's like, he's going to get fed there. That's it.
Do you know, this reminds me, I knew a gay guy that moved to the United States. He used to come up here during the winter and go skiing all the time. And he's on a site called Grindr, which basically Grindr is a hookup
for gay men.
Gay that I don't want to meet you. It's not Tinder.
No, it's just hookup.
Let's just have sex. He said to me, "You would not believe the majority of straight men that came to me because they wanted a blowjob because their wives wouldn't give it to them."
Correct. That's correct.
They're not gay. They had such a desire to have that they even went to that route.
Yep.
And they didn't want to pay a prostitute. It's just a free hookup.
Well, and gay men probably know how to do that better than anybody else. Think about it. They have a penis and they know how they like it moved.
I'm just saying,
but that's
in
true.
the name of a loving, committed relationship, there's a lot of backwoods, back alley, back stuff that's going on that would
like that?
crush
the
the other.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I do think that women tend to think when the word love is used, it encompasses a lot of things.
Yep.
And
He'd
I
never
do
that. He
I
loves
know,
me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
that's
think
right.
men tend to tunnel vision what love is, but then there's a lot of distractions that don't fall into that category. Therefore, I'm not technically not loving her because
there's no relationship.
there's a different meaning.
It's transactional. Yeah.
right?
It's a transaction, yeah.
So when you've got a couple that you're working with and they have two different mindsets, what do you do?
Well, that's kind of where the disconnect is happening because their value systems are radically different.
Right.
A lot of, instead of grinder stuff, a lot of guys will go get massages and happy endings. Okay. Again, it's transactional.
Yeah, I mean, there's something there,
There's something there. It's transactional. They're paying for it in a way. It's not sex, but it's a release.
Right.
And a lot of guys can compartmentalize that and go, well, that's not love. I'm not cheating on my wife. I don't have any emotional connection with these people.
Do you know how many times I've heard people say, I didn't have intercourse,
They have sex.
so I'm not
Well, it's
cheating.
still sexual to me. It is cheating. I don't care what you tell me. It's cheating. But they aren't ready to walk away from half their income and half the schedule with their kids.
Right.
So, but they're also unwilling to compromise not having sex, okay, or not having a blowjob because their wife won't do that. So, they feel trapped. They feel stuck, and they don't want to lose their reputation, lose their status, and so they feel stuck.
Gosh, it's such a cycle because I think the women, on the other note, are thinking, I don't want to give my body to somebody that I don't feel respects me or I don't feel loves me, even if they don't know what's going on.
Right.
Obviously, there's a component of their relationship
Right.
that is not bringing fulfillment in a lot of areas.
Right.
So,
Well, or not. I mean, you'd be surprised. They may feel connected. They're traveling together. They're talking together. They're holding hands. They're connected, but he's got this side life because she's just not into sex like that anymore, and he doesn't want to burden her with it. A lot of guys think of it like I hate that I have to do this. I hate that I have this urge. I have this buildup. I got to get this release. So what am I supposed to do? The shower, jerk off isn't always enough.
right.
I mean, I've had these real discussions with these guys, and I'm like, why is this a good idea? How is this a good idea for you?
Is
and
it
they
because
really-
they're living on the impulse of the moment of I got to have that feeling?
I don't even think it's a feeling. I think they just want that their semen's building up, and they got to get rid of it. That's honestly a transactional.
But didn't God
physical
give you
thing.
wet dreams? I mean,
Well, but
or-
that's.
I'm not saying like I'm
and
not
on
trying
their
to
hand, I mean, they can
poo-poo
have-
the situation, but I'm just saying.
I'm not justifying it by any means. I'm just telling you what they've told me.
yeah.
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 And and that is a dilemma of marriage for guys.
Right.
Because now I'm tied to one woman, my children are there, my money's there, my home's there, and if I get caught doing something stupid,
I know. I mean, I'm not saying I get their thinking,
Yeah.
but I do, from a point of view, just monetarily, financial. They've
Yeah.
worked their whole
Yeah.
life. They've
Yeah.
built whatever it is.
and they do love her. There's an emotional tie there.
I always
in
think
some way
if
they can,
if she were hit by a car, he'd be by her side and he'd feel terrible.
yeah, I think you would.
You know what I'm saying?
I think
There's
he
that
would.
kind of a
think he
like
would.
I'm devoted because you're the mother of my kids and we've been together our whole
Yes,
lives
and we're
blah,
best
blah, blah.
friends. Yeah.
Yeah, but on this compartment here, and that's sad to me because again, there's no communication.
Right. Well,
And what do
if-
you always say?
Yeah, well, that's what brings love in. If you want a good relationship, you got to have communication. Period. Yeah.
You do. You really do.
You
because
talk it through.
Even when you don't communicate, you really are communicating because you're holding it in.
That's right.
And your actions, even though they're nonverbal, are
That's
actually
there. It's there.
saying a lot. I knew of a couple.
But you got to understand this. If that was outed, if these people were found out, that is what she can't handle. Most women can't handle this, okay?
Yeah,
Because they make it mean you don't love me. And I'll tell you right now, that's not the truth. It does not mean he doesn't love you if this is going on. I know they love their wife, okay? I believe they love their wife. It is a matter of,
But what about men that have affairs?
now affairs are a little different because it isn't just transactional. It is an emotional connection.
Right.
And there's something missing probably in the marriage there.
Yeah. So they may not know what the love,
But they
for their
can't leave
spouse
because they
is.
financially are tied in. Exactly. And it's
But then
usually
I
a
can
younger
see
female.
where the woman's like, well, you're just using me to keep me from getting your half.
Probably.
Right?
That's right.
This is funny. I knew this couple, and they'd been married forever, and they're super religious, and they had 4 kids, and blah blah blah. And she was insistent that he was having an affair with me, which
Oh,
was
God.
never, ever, ever, ever the case.
Oh, I know you better than that.
And they had separated, and she was even more insistent. And I was like, no,
Hell
no.
no.
I'm at a store in the mall. She corners me in that store. Yeah.
Oh, how awful.
Yeah. And I'm like, 911. What is your intention with my husband? I'm like, none. Like, I don't know where you're getting this, but none. This went on. I mean,
made all that shit up.
she went psycho. She went, crazy. Come to find out,
She's fucking around.
she was having an affair with somebody in his family.
Oh my God.
So this whole facade of
Wow.
I'm going to make you feel terrible because I think you're cheating on me when she actually was cheating on him.
Well, and so that's a lot of times the case. It's projection.
That is a lot of psych to think
There's
about
a
something
lot,
like
well,
that.
but
Man.
people that protest too much, they got something going on.
Wow.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And of course, he stayed out of guilt. Not that he did anything wrong, but he didn't want to be the dad that left, and all the children were so upset, and la la la.
And this is forgivable. Look, you can recover from an affair. You can recover from the transactional sex stuff. You can recover from the secrets. You can.
How does the person that's been cheated
Jilted.
on, how did they go, okay, now I trust you again?
Well, it takes time, and it takes transparency, and they get to ask all the questions. They get to look at their phone, and the person that is contrite, that really does feel bad and guilty, you know when someone's whatever you need, whatever you
They
need.
just hand it
yeah,
over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever you need. I'm here. I want you to know that, and it's going to take time for you to trust me again. Whatever you need.
Right.
There's an attitude, and they're grateful for the opportunity to stay. You know, you can tell someone's got the contrition. And it is something you can get over. Now, I have on occasion said to the other side, she's not getting over this. She's really beating you up on a routine basis. So I'm going to tell her to have an affair on you.
Whoa, how's that go?
Oh, Lordy. I'll tell you what, that is combustible. I mean, that is like dynamite. Usually it's like, no, I can't handle that. Well, you might have to handle that because, we got to even the playing field now. So she might get her
Wow.
pick of penis and she might just go do it. And sometimes we're going to separate you. She's going to have her moment when she gets, get this out of her system now. Okay, just like you got out of your system.
Is that more for her to feel like now we're even?
Yeah, and that almost sometimes it has to come to, okay, what is it going to take for you to let this go and lean into this marriage and really work this through? What's it going to take? Because it's either about her insecurities, she must have been this and this. She just feels betrayed, or she just can't get over this. She judges it, and it's bad, sick, and wrong. And I'm not saying it's not. It is. But there's got to be some point in time where she says, if she's staying, you either let it go and kind of work through it and forgive him, or you don't. Because if you can't forgive it and you can't let it go, it's going to ruin the rest of both your lives.
Who wants to live in
No
that
one.
situation?
And it ruins her too. But when I say, okay, why don't you go do this? Why don't you take your turn and you go do this? Why don't you go screw around? Every time. I've never had a woman say, I think I will.
a great idea.
Women don't say that
because
to me.
that's not what the woman
No.
is at. That's not going to heal her
That's
to have
not her
sex
nature.
with somebody.
No, that's not the nature.
Yeah.
But I do. I want it on the table. That dude. Hey, turnabout's fair play, honey.
Right.
And I tell every woman.
once his feelings go like, wait a second, I understand
He panics.
kind of maybe where she's at.
Well, and then when she goes to the gym and she starts looking better and she starts losing weight and she starts getting hit on and she lets them know. Oh, see, it could happen to her too, honey.
Yeah.
So honestly, the biggest fear of someone who's got that sin is that sin being done to them. That is the hell people put themselves in.
Wow.
Because they're terrified of karma. And I put it front and center. Well, you may have karma. And maybe she'll do it when you're not looking, like she did it when she wasn't looking.
Like when because you.
Just saying.
Do you know, when I was in my marriage, he was heavily into porn.
Yeah.
And I remember even something small like going to the movies and
Yeah.
there would be a scene where maybe there was a girl that, didn't have a top on or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't tell you mentally what that did to me.
Oh, honey.
Because the whole time I'm like, I'm not that person.
Oh.
And I know he likes to look at other women
Yeah.
and masturbate or whatever to other women that are not me.
Yeah.
What's happening in his mind right now? And that is a terrible, terrible game when you can't control somebody's mind.
It's terrible. No, but it's panicky.
Because you never, ever feel secure. So wrapping that to a point, and we've talked about this before, when the first purchase besides gum that I made when I was single is I went and bought a bra.
Yeah.
And I didn't buy that bra so I could show somebody. I bought that bra because I needed to feel like I was a woman.
Yep.
That somehow, somewhere, someone would desire me at some point.
Yep.
Because pornography in a marriage makes you feel like
You aren't
you're,
desirable.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're not. And what I think most people don't understand is it's actually a disease. It's an illness. It
It is.
really has nothing to do
With you.
And yet I was the blame.
Isn't that funny?
If you
Oh,
would
if
have
you'd been
done
doing more than
this,
me.
I wouldn't have done that.
Shut up.
But he had this addiction since he was a kid. So I'm like,
It's not even
oh.
reality. Not even reality.
It's not. It's not. And I think it's really unfair. It's an unfair thing when a partner does that. even though they may think it's a hidden thing. You know, your karma knows, your spirit knows when something's not on.
Well, you
it's
know they're not
right.
focused on you. You can tell when someone's talking at you when they're in their head,
Yeah.
or if they're having sex with you and they're thinking about another image in their head. You know, people know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and in anything, even if somebody is spending too much time at the office or whatever, you feel there's a disconnect in the relationship.
That's right. That's right.
And it affects it. You know, it doesn't affect just the sex life. It affects everything.
That's right.
And I think humans, we know, we have an intuition. We know when something's not right.
That's right.
You know, and it's just like going back to this one guy. You know, we got back from this trip, and I was texting him. I'm like, what is up? Because I just knew. You know, there were no words that said anything. I just knew.
And I know what was up. Look, this guy's looking to leave his world, okay? And I think that's like, oh God, am I ready for that? You know, I think, and I watch people sabotage this kind of stuff. You know, they're just not really ready to fully commit. But he doesn't want to miss the chance of trying, you know, and that's okay. Yeah, I get it.
It's
Just
not
be
okay to
straight
me
with
because
me.
that's my point.
Yeah, just be straight about it.
If someone, and I don't even care, this situation doesn't bother me now, but I'm just saying, if somebody would have said, you know what, truth is, like, I met you in person and it scares the shit out of me because I want to be with you, but I also have this life and this is where I live and I've got my children
daughter,
here. And I don't know that before when we were texting, it seemed easy
Yeah, it
that I
wasn't
could
faced
pick up
with
and
all
leave.
this stuff,
But now
yeah.
I'm faced with it. I could understand that.
Yeah.
But when
come
you
out
go
with that.
silent on me or on anybody, you know, we can, and that's where a female can get into trouble because we think of things that maybe aren't true because
up
we're
all
trying
sorts
to
of
get
stuff.
an answer to something. Whereas if the explanation would at least just been, this is where I'm at.
Yeah, and I really can't commit to this yet. You would have been more understanding.
It would, but I mean, I still probably would have made the choice of, oh, well, okay, I'm going to move on with life. But still, at least it would have been like, because what happens in a damaged relationship, every other relationship you go in, you still take a bit of that wound.
Yeah.
And when something doesn't go right, you go, it's me. I'm not pretty. In my case, I'm not desirable enough. It all has to do with the physical because of what I went through with my marriage.
Right.
I'm not this, I'm not that. I'm not worthy of his attention because it's happening again, right?
Yeah.
And that's not fair to the new people, but that tends to be like, that was the answer before,
yeah.
that must be the answer now.
Right. Which it isn't. But
Right.
I get it. I get, and that's why we take ourselves with us wherever we go. But you got to talk all this stuff through so you know that you're not, that's not what's going on.
Right. But when you've got a partner that doesn't, I don't mean me, but anybody, when they don't say what's going on,
The truth.
Either side goes, I'm led to kind of, as a human,
You're
I
gonna
gotta
make stuff
have,
up.
I gotta have a point to it. I gotta have a,
We do.
you know, there's got to be an explanation of why I feel, because that's the worst feeling, is that tornado of like, I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know why I feel this way. I can't put a label on it. You can't sleep. I mean, it's constantly in your head.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think that's a really selfish thing when people don't. They
Just
see
tell the truth.
They see that person is, you know,
Suffering.
going through,
Yeah.
and it's because of their actions, but they don't want to say,
Yeah.
This is what
This
I'm
is
feeling.
why. The real why. Yeah.
The real why. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. When you have, and we'll just wrap this up, but when you have somebody, a couple, and there has been a situation, for whatever the reason of cheating and whatever level that is, because I'm with you, I think cheating does not have to do with intercourse only.
No.
Do most of these people overcome?
Yeah, they may overcome alone. You know, they may have to break up and overcome alone, but they do. You can overcome this, yeah. It does require, you know, I went through my first marriage, my girlfriend got pregnant. So
By her husband?
By my husband, sure. Yeah, my ex-husband. So, and then there was just this disconnect, like he wanted nothing to do with me and my son, right? And it took me a while to kind of figure out, wait a minute.
Wait, was this his son?
This is his son, his biological son. And he wanted nothing to do with it, right? With Nathan. So, but it took me a minute to kind of go, wait a minute. This is, I'll tell you what I did do. I want to make sure we're not going way over, but we are, whatever. You know, he was complaining in the marriage, whatever. Well, you never this, you never that. So I'm wearing teddies, making dinner. I'm like going all out, making sure he knows that I'm attracted to him and I'm wanting sex, all that kind of stuff. Because I took that on like, okay, there's a challenge for me. He's not happy here. I'll make him happy, right?
Right.
And so I'm doing everything I can to pretzel, somersault. I'm in the splits, y'all, trying to make this guy happy. And I was going overboard, making sure everything he wanted he got from me, right? It wasn't enough. And I remember we're sitting on the bed talking, and I'm like, well, you know, I'm just trying to make this work. And he said to me, I realize this isn't you, this is me. This is me. Because I was doing it, and I kind of knew, I knew it wasn't all me, right?
Sure.
I cleaned up my mess. I, restored what my integrity that was out, and I went the distance to make sure he felt desired. That wasn't really it. So even though, I took it personal for a minute, I thought, God, if I was redhead, if I was brunette, if I was size 2, if I was, what, it wouldn't have mattered. This is his character. This is his flaw. This is something he's got going on.
Right.
And that's when I can unplug from it and go, I got to look at what I'm attracting a cheater for. Am I validating something negative about myself, right? Mm-hmm. So I did some therapy on that to see, I'm daughter number 2. There was some stuff I had to work through to figure out why I was okay with settling for what I was settling for.
Right.
And taking it personal. Someone's bad character is not my fault. And I quit attracting cheaters after that.
Yeah.
I had to kind of let it go and not make it mean anything about me. And when I did that, I haven't, that I know of, been cheated on ever again.
Yeah.
So.
Well, no, I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
Your marriage. That's the
not at all.
last thing he would ever do.
I know.
But on the same, on the note of this is, and we've talked about this on another podcast.
Yeah.
When you figure out your own value and your own worth, you never go back.
Nope.
Like it is not a light bulb moment, y'all. It's like the stadium lights go on, and you cannot deny. You won't run from it. You won't do anything.
No.
So when we go have dinner the other night, and this guy starts off, it was just like my gate went down, and I went, no, you are not. You're not going to put me in this corner. You're not going to treat me this way. And he was probably like, what the hell? But in me, it was like all these memories of stuff that's happened to me before. It's kind of like the Me Too. Once you go through that, you will.
Go through that again.
You'll never go through that again.
It's PTSD. That was your PTSD moment. Yeah. Right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You can't go from knowing to not knowing ever again.
Right. I mean, it's just like if you, and I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this has happened to me. I'm just saying, if you know that feeling of being hit.
Yep.
If you know that feeling that you were cheated on and you've caught it and you know it, you are sensitive to that same feeling.
Oh, your radar's up. That's right. That's right.
Because our human goes, I'm not going to do that again.
Well,
I'm
we
going to
won't.
self-preserve myself. I'm not doing that again.
But here's what has to happen for you to heal from that. You have to be willing to go through it again. If you say, I'm never going through that again, I can't handle that ever again, the universe says, oh, yes, you can. I'm going to show you. Watch
you're
this.
going to be strong.
You got this, girl. Yeah. You have to really get over this idea that you can't handle it. Yes, you can.
Right.
You got this. And you don't make it mean anything about you.
Right.
And when someone, and actually how you help that other person is you say, look, I know what's going on. You're drinking, you're drugging, you're cheating, you're this. What's happening with you? When you are actually willing to have that conversation, and if you can depersonalize it, okay, you would not believe the healing that transforms people. Because nobody's ever got that far with them to say, you got something going on over there that you're self-destructing. What is happening with you?
I often think, and I've heard other people say this in different situations, if whoever it is would have just said to me, I have this problem and it's not you, then you would say, what do we need to do to get help?
Right.
Like all of a sudden you're removed, you're not the victim of it,
Right.
and you become empathetic to whatever they're going through.
But you got to know that no matter what people are doing, it ain't about you.
Right.
They're
It's just harder when
they're
they
assholes
take no
before you
accountability.
and they're assholes after you. And a lot of times narcissists can't take responsibility
No. Well, that we know.
because then they're wrong. Yeah, and they can't be wrong. They got to be
that we
right.
know. Hey, Camille is amazing at all kinds of counseling, life
you.
coaching, and really has such a great track record of saving relationships, whether they stay married or whether you figure out how to live your life and be the healthiest you.
Yeah.
You're really, really good about that.
you.
So I would, it doesn't matter where you live, she can do counseling on the phone, but people all over the world will consult a psychic that you don't know them.
Yep.
Camille,
Do some relationship coaching, y'all.
it's
Especially if you have
she's
kids.
good.
If you have kids, there is a future concern to live into because you both love your children.
Yeah.
So no matter what, if you're going to break up or stay together, work through your stuff for your kids. Period.
Yeah. Give her a call. What's your number?
801-809-2222.
2222.
809-2222.
2222.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all. Hey, thanks for being with us. And do not judge me.
For what?
Because I just did my Taylor Swift moment.
Oh.
No, it's all good.
Oh,
and you know
hell.
what? Honestly, you
We're
said
not
so-
perfect.
I'm not perfect.
No.
No, but you know what? All of these lessons, y'all just know, especially those that are single, you would rather learn them now
Than when you're married.
than if you have that committed relationship.
Right.
Okay, we are so far over. Camila's
That's
got
okay.
anxiety with the button. She's like, shut up.
Well, I don't really care. It's okay, good.
See you next time, y'all. Bye-bye.
Really?
Jesus, take the wheel. You just made me go.